Oh, I'm going to encourage you guys to sit on a block to start. I just like to, let me turn sideways. I like to put it between my ankles. And you can do it either the lower height or the higher height. And you can start on the higher height if you want, or and move it to the lower height if it feels good. But your toes and your knees should be in the same plane. I'm going to start a little bit higher because my fun knee. And then just sit up. I want you to feel comfortable. So get to the height where it feels like, oh, I could stay here for a little bit. And then close your eyes and just breathe. Just notice how you're feeling physically. I want to remind you that it is your responsibility to take care of this vessel that you've been given for your soul to house in for this lifetime. Sometimes we forget and we just abuse our body vessel, if you will. We make it keep going when we should rest. Or we don't notice little aches and pains. We just disregard them and think, oh, it'll go away. But really, your body is always trying to tell you something when you have these aches and pains. You really need to listen to your body. It's very intelligent. And it's really the same way with your soul. Always trying to give you little hints and nudges and ideas if you pay attention. Just bring hands to heart center. May we always use our minds as we pay attention to our bodies and our souls. May we take the time to notice the grace within us, within others. And the beauty that surrounds us and encompasses. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. Hopefully you're still a little comfortable. I'm going to lower my back a little bit. Just stretch your arms up and feel grounded through that block, through your seat bones all the way up. Good. And then just encourage a little twist to your right. Feel different things. We're going to work on quads a lot today, so feel a little bit different stretches there. Keep pressing your toes down, it helps. And then stretch up. Interlace your hands, press your palms up, and arc to your right. Keep weight on your left sits bone as you do this. And come on up. Release your hands and twist to your left now. And then stretch up, interlace your hands, press your palms up, and arc to your left. And come on up. Bring your hands down. I want you to pay attention to your quads. Press into your feet and shins and lift up. And then slowly lower down. Very controlled thinking. I want to use those quads. Let's just do that a couple more times. Press your feet down. Up. And lower. 2 more times. Honey's cracking. Good. And come down to all fours. Curl your toes under because that was a lot of having them stretched out. And just move through some cow and cat. Cow and cat. Going. And then pause with a flat back, keeping your toes curled under. Just lift your knees into a all fours. And you can move back and forward a little bit, just keeping the knees not too far from the ground, just kind of working those quads again. And lower your knees. And now extend just the right leg. We're going to work the back side, so we work the quad. So bend the knee, flex the foot, and then just start making little up and down movements. Working the hamstring, the glute. Keep drawing the rib cage back so you stay strong there. Good. Extend the leg. Point the toe. Add the left arm. And release everything to the mat. We'll switch sides. Left leg extends. Bend the knee, flex the foot. Rib cage stays back, and just start making little pulses. Feel like you're lifting from the belly of the hamstring, but also engaging the glute, like keeping the core nice and strong. Good. Extend the leg long. Point the toe. Add the right arm. breathe. And release. And come down to your elbows here. So shoulders right over the elbows. They aren't too wide. I like to interlace my hands. And then do one cow and one cat. And then pause and come up on your feet. Come to a dolphin pose. Press down on your forearms, broaden the clavicles, and just walk out your little dolphin pose. Shoulders should be either right above the elbows or maybe push them back a little bit just to give a little more stretch. Feel the shoulder blades on the back. Clavicles broadening. And then lower your knees, stretch your feet long and stretch on back to child's pose. Lift up onto your fingertips. And come on up to all fours again. This time I'm going to have you turn your fingertips out. And then just make a little circle. Just stretching the wrists out a little bit. I've been having a little bit of wrist pain. I don't know what I did. So we're going to stretch them out. Switch directions. And then pause. If you want more, I have to move my knees closer. You can turn so your thumbs are out, your fingers point to you, and then just kind of stretch forward and back or side to side, whatever works, just to work on your wrists a little bit. Press your fingertips down. Good, and then turn the hands back around and come on down to your bellies. Stretch your arms back. Lift your shoulders. Lift your head. Keep the back of the neck. Lift your rib cage back. Warming up the back. Maybe add the legs if you want. Lifting from the hamstrings. Alabasana. Good, and release down. Bring the palms under, or the hands under your forehead. And now just sliding the hands back. Stretch long into a cobra. Just feel a little pulsing here as you breathe. So inhale, lift a little higher, exhale, lower a little bit. Just lightly broadening the clavicle still. Stretching out the back, rib cage back. Good, and then press back to all fours and go ahead and come on up to a downward facing dog. Extend the right leg. Good. Bring the right knee. So you're going to come forward like a plank. Bring the right knee towards the right elbow. And then extend it back. And then bring the right knee towards the nose and extend it back. And then bring the right knee towards the left elbow and extend it back. And bring it on in. Do that on the other side. Extend the left leg. Feel that nice stretch. Keeping strong through the shoulders. Bring the right or left knee towards the left elbow. Extend it back. Towards the nose. Extend it back. And finally towards the right elbow. Extend it back. And bring it on in. Step your feet up towards your hands. And just enjoy a moment in forward fold. Pick out your head. And slowly roll on up to standing. And in your best Tadasana, stand on your right foot, lift your left knee. And then just see if you can straighten it, bend it, bring it down, and shift. So, other knee bends, find stability, straighten it as best you can. It may not straighten all the way. Bend and release. Let's just keep going like that. So shift, lift. You think of all those quad muscles as you extend it, bend and lower. Switch. And just to do that 2 more times each side, just kind of on your own time. Just thinking of utilizing those quad muscles. And release. Good. Now grab a block. Actually, grab both blocks and just bring them on the lower height in front of you. And then kind of stand a little ways away. And step your right foot onto the block. And then shift your weight to that block. Lift the left knee. Straighten. Bend. And step it back to a deep lunge, or to a crescent lunge, I guess. Good. Feel that. Bring your hands on your front thigh and lower the back knee. So it's a little bit deeper Anjane position. Good. Now lift and very slowly lower. Just thinking strength and length. 3, 4, One more. 5, hold there. Lean forward a little bit. Step that foot forward. Shift your weight. Lift the knee and release down. Okay, let's do that on the other side. Step the left foot onto the block. Your foot should be in line with your sits bone, so adjust if you don't. Shift the weight to the block. Lift the right knee. Extend. And step it back. One more time. Shift. Lift. Extend. And step it all the way back now to a deep lunge. Hands on the knee. Make sure your hips stay square. Lower the knee to the ground. Make sure you're feeling strong in this position. And then 5 times, you're just going to lift up and lower. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Good. Lean forward a little bit, step forward. Shift the weight, lift the knee. And step on back. Good. Turn the blocks up to medium height and step up there between the blocks. Just pause. And inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bend to Utkatasana, chair pose as you bring hands to heart center. Inhale, press through your feet, lift up. Extend the arms. Exhale, bend. Keep your core engaged. Extend up. Bend. Try and coordinate with your breath. Last time, stretch up. Bend into chair pose. Hold. And then see if you can maybe lift up onto your toes. Lower your heels. Keep into the chair pose, lift your toes. Lower. One more time. Notice my quads are kind of shaking, my feet are kind of shaking. Lower, good, and then this time fold forward. Hands on the blocks. Please step your left foot back to a deep lunge. Feels weird without the foot being on the block, but it feels like a nice stretch, right? Press into that back foot, bring the hands on the front knee. Come upright to crescent. Stretch your arms up if you're feeling strong. Full breath. Good, touch down. Step back, downward facing dog, but then extend that right leg up. This should feel good. Bend the knee. Open up to wild dog. Feel a big stretch in the front of that thigh. And square up the hips, step that foot through to deep lunge again. Come up to crescent warrior. Touch down. Step all the way back to extended leg. And bring that foot down. Then the left leg, step it through to deep lunge. Just take a moment there and slowly find your way up to crescent warrior. One more breath. Touch it down. Step that foot back and then extend it. Bend the knee. Open up wild dog. Good. Square up the hips. Step that foot through deep lunge. Find your way, crescent warrior. Good. Touch down. And please step forward. Take a moment. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back to a deep lunge. Ground that foot down. And I'm not going to use my blocks, but I'm going to walk my hands to the left. So turn your right foot forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Just sway forward and back a few times, just kind of feeling an inner leg stretch. Good, and then come up like a pranam. Swivel the heels in slightly. Bend the knees and bring your hands on your knees for goddess pose. So torso comes upright, hands to heart center. You can just kind of sway side to side just a little bit if you want to. Feeling those quads, really getting a workout. Get a little deeper, lengthen your spine a little higher, pause. Good, and then fold forward again, straighten the feet out. Walk your hands back to the right. Straighten both feet towards the front of the mat. Lower the back knee again. This time come up Anjaneyasana, but without your foot on the block, it feels different. Good, and then just bring your left hand to the block, and you might have to bring it to the higher height you decide. You're gonna bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand, see if you can find the foot, or maybe it's just the cuff. Keeping your shoulders and your hips square, maybe encourage a little deeper stretch, hug the knee forward, the heel back. If that feels good and you want more, you can always lowered to your elbow. And release the foot. Lift the back knee, step back to a down dog on those blocks. Bend the left leg and step it through to a deep lunge. Round the back foot down. Walk your hands to the right now. Turn the left foot in. Just kind of notice where it feels good, where it feels tight. Remembering it's your responsibility to take care of your physical body. So only you know best. I can give you pointers, but you're the one that knows best for you. And then come up to a pranam, swivel the heels, make your way back up to goddess pose. Shift your weight to your right foot, lift your left heel. And shift your weight to your left foot, lift your left heel. Do that a couple more times. Good. Now, next time, lift the toes. Straighten that leg all the way. So toes lift. Good. And then ground. Shift. Lift the toes, straighten the leg. Let's keep going. Keep your spine nice and long. Good. Pause. Fold forward again. Straighten the feet out. Walk your hands back towards the left foot. Turn the right heel up. And step back. Downward facing dog. Let's just set the blocks off to the side if you're using them. And inhale, come to a plank pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Downward facing dog on the blocks again. I forgot to do something on that side. So extend your left leg and step it through. Lower the back knee. Anjane asana. We got to even things out, right? Right hand comes down. Right knee bends. Left hand to the right foot if possible. Stretching out that quad, just feel it out. Hugging knee to heel, heel to knee. Breathing. And release. Good. Lift the back knee and please step forward. Step the left foot back to deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Stretch on back to a runner's lunge. Stretch out the hamstring again. Whatever amount of stretch feels good. Think of stretching out the glute, lengthening your spine. Good. Bend into the front knee. Lift the back knee. Keep the heel lifted. Move the hips up and back to straighten the right leg again. Breathe. Good. Bend the front knee. Bring your hands on the front knee. Come up crescent. Shift your weight to the right foot and step forward. Good. Stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold. Pranam and fold. Right foot back. Deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Stretch the hips back for that. Runner's lunge stretch. I always start with the foot flexed. Keep thinking long spine, maybe stretch the toes. More breath. Bend into the front knee. Lift the back knee. Crescent warrior. Touch down. Move the hips up and back to straighten the left leg. Right heel can stay lifted. It's okay. You'll feel more stretch in that left hamstring and glute. More breath. And the knee. Lift to crescent. Lean forward, shift your weight, and step forward. Whew. Stretch your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sit back to chair pose. Shift your weight to your toes, lift your heels. Shift back and forward fold. Move your blocks out of the way and step back to a downward facing dog. Look out, your doggies. Enjoy a moment. Walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale, bring the arms down like you're pushing the air down, and then the hands behind you. And see if you can interlace behind you. A big stretch in your shoulders and your heart. Lift your heart. Maybe even press your knuckles back a little bit. Long back of neck. And then fold forward here. If it feels good, bring the arms with you. Big stretch. Maybe kind of twist to your right and to your left a few times. You'll feel more intense stretch on your shoulders. And then release your hands and walk back out to downward facing dog. Inhale, come to a plank pose, hold. And lower down to the mat. Bend your knees, flex your feet, press your knees down, and then lift to cobra, but with the knees bent. Just kind of feel that out. And lower back down. Now, you can do that again, or maybe you can reach back and see if you can find your feet or your ankles. Think sits bones back and wide. Draw the low belly up, draw the rib cage back, and then kick back, lift your head and shoulders, and maybe your knees for Dhanurasana, boat pose. Oh, big stretch, and then release back down. Hands under forehead. Breathe. And then keeping the toes stretched long, push up to all fours. Walk forward a little bit. And I'm going to give you a chance to go to full Virasana if that works for you. If not, just sit on your heels. You decide if it feels good and you can sit between your heels, great. Feels like a deep stretch on my ankles. I'm going to go a little further, maybe come down to my elbows. Press the toes down. I'm listening to my body. I'm not going to go to the full stretched out version today. I'm just going to stay here. You do what your body's asking for. And then just make your way up and move back to a downward facing dog. Full breath. And see about lowering to your elbows here. So you're in dolphin pose. You can lower your knees first if you want to. And then bring your shoulders over your elbows. Walk your feet back for elbow plank. Broaden your clavicles. And push back to dolphin. Maybe walk your feet forward a little bit. Maybe extend one leg. Just play a little bit. The other works. And then make your way down to a child's pose. And then however you can get there, transition to your back. Just keeping your feet under your knees. Lift up to Setu Bandha, so arms supporting you. Lift up to Setu Bandha. And then be about lifting your toes here. And lowering the heels. And coming all the way down. And just do that one more time. Lift the hips. Maybe walk the feet even a little bit more underneath of you. And lift up onto your toes. Lower the heels. And lower down. Hug your knees into your chest. And roll side to side. Let the left foot touch the floor, interlace behind the right thigh. Extend the right leg. Maybe extend the left leg. Flex and point. And switch. And both knees, bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open. Feeling the stretch here. And then just stretch your left leg straight. Leave your right leg where it is. Stretch your arms up over your head for a laying down tree pose. And maybe even bring the right ankle on top of the left thigh. That feels good. And then switch, right leg extends, left leg to tree. Maybe bring the ankle on top. Stretch legs all the way long. Stretch arms all the way long. Maybe walk your heels to the right and kind of arc your arms to the right so your back is still flat. You're just doing a crescent arch, and then go to the other side. Good. And then stretch out for Shavasana. Settling in with your breath. Also, your responsibility to make sure your body gets enough rest. Since this is rest time, just encourage every muscle in your body to relax. Really scan head to toe. Check in. When you're feeling fully relaxed, check in with your heart. Emptying your way back. Notice your heart first. By golly, it's still beating. And start to notice the rest of your physical body. Making small movements when you feel ready. Eventually drawing your knees in, rolling on up to seated. You're ready. We're so fortunate in that we get to make all these decisions for our bodies and souls. Feeding your body, feeding your soul, so important. Just bring hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you guys for being here and for practicing. I need it. I actually feel better after doing yoga. So